Right here on my screen, I have a picture of my dream car. This is the Nissan R34 GTR. It's a Skyline, and I've always wanted one, and I plan to buy this car in the next year or two. This car costs roughly about 120,000 UK pounds, which is a lot of money. For a lot of people, it's out of reach. Like, it's almost like an unattainable thing to have. Most people, I feel, are stuck in this trap of settling for average and believing that things like this are not for them. But in this video, I want to show you how to avoid that trap and how you can avoid settling for less than an average life in 2025. I'm going to give you the whole blueprint for it. So first of all, let's just break down the average UK finances, because I think it's quite interesting to look at. I have some notes on my screen, so I will be looking at this. The average UK salary is around £33,000 a year. And once you account for tax and national insurance, you're left with about £25,500 of take-home pay. That's less than £2,200 a month. And then if we look at actual living costs, which are extortionate right now, on average, maybe someone's paying 10k a year on rent or mortgage repayments. Then they have maybe £3,500 on utilities like gas, electric, water. Then maybe an extra £4,000 a year on groceries and food. And if you base it off those numbers, over the course of a year, someone will have saved £3,500. That's about £300 a month in the bank, or about £10 a day. So it's not really too much to chase any kind of dream car like this, or house, or any other kind of dream that you may have. And if we take into account, say, like the cost of a house, right? So the average house in the UK costs £285,000. And if you're in London, it's an extortionate amount of like £550,000, which is crazy. So if you want to save a 20% deposit, you need about 57 grand for the average house, or 110 grand for a London property. So if you have £3,500 in savings a year, on average, it would take you 16 years to save for a deposit outside London, and over 30 years to save for a deposit if you're living in the big smoke. And if we come back to my dream car here, it would literally take you 34 years of saving to afford this car. Now, it sounds ridiculous to be talking about this, but I'm actually working towards all this stuff. So I'm kind of sharing it from my perspective as I'm going through it and as I'm working towards things. That car is something I've dreamed of having ever since I watched the first Fast and the Furious movie. So it's been a dream for a very long time. And it's not even just about the car. Like, the car's beautiful, but it's more like a symbol of like a bigger picture of mine. So let's talk about the trap of being average. And I hope this is almost like a wake-up call for you. So most people, I'm not blaming anyone for it, because I lived by these same set of rules for a long time, and now I kind of just do my own thing. Most people wake up, they strive to get good grades in school, they go to college or university, which hopefully at the end of it will give them a good and well-paying job, which often doesn't work out like that. Work hard, and maybe just after that, of doing that for 40, 50 years, you can retire comfortably and spend the money that you've earned over that period of time. By which age you're probably going to be in a wheelchair and not actually able to live the dream that you once had. So the dangers of settling for an average life means that you are setting yourself up to spend the next 20, 30, 40, maybe even longer years of your life doing average things for this elusive goal at the end, which isn't even promised. Whereas we can switch the rules around a little bit. We don't have to be reckless. We just have to think about things differently, because the opportunities that we have right now, which I'm going to give you the blueprint for, are insane, and they will allow you to break free. So today, it's easier than ever before to create an income online and start your own online business and create the lifestyle that you want, like now. 20 years ago, it wasn't possible to build a business or to build a lifestyle with just a phone and a laptop and social media. Now, a lot of people will slate social media, that it takes people's attention away. It can be like addictive and all this, but it is the catalyst and the thing that you should think about and use to grow this dream lifestyle of yours, because it allows you to connect with many, many millions of people around the world. You can grow an audience, you can offer those people a product or a service, and you can build and share your message with the world. Whereas 20 years ago, it would take way longer to spread a message. Like, it would literally take one person to read a message in a magazine or a newspaper, and then it would take that person's word of mouth to pass it on to two people, and so on and so forth. Whereas if you have some content that goes viral, or it doesn't even have to go viral actually, you put a video on YouTube and it gets a few hundred views of the right people, that is enough to start a business, enough to start the foundations for not living an average life in 2025. Now, I did talk about going viral before, but this isn't about going viral. This channel right here has hardly any subscribers, and the views on the videos are just hundreds. They're not thousands or millions like my other channel here, which is all mountain biking stuff. You don't need a massive viral hits to make this happen. It's all about mindset, taking action, and seeing opportunities where other people see obstacles. So step one of this blueprint is to build a following. It doesn't matter what you're doing, you need an audience of people or a collective group of people who share the same interest or are interested in something similar to you. This channel was primarily mountain bike focused. The channel you're watching right now is about income generation online. I have another channel as well, which is all about action camera tutorials. So they're all very specific channels in themselves, which people gravitate towards those different channels based on what their interests are and what they want to learn. Your channel or your audience growth, it doesn't have to be on YouTube, by the way, it could be on any other social media platform. If you are, say, in the fitness industry, you could share fitness tips. If you are in the financial sector, you could share financial advice as it's happening. You could give people a service or a product that they actually need. These are all just basic things, but you want to focus on building an audience on whatever platform that you are most prominent on, whether it's Instagram, TikTok. I love YouTube. I will just pound YouTube home until it's like absolutely dead in the water. I think it's the best platform for anybody to start an online business and grow a following this year. And then once you've built this collective number of people who are interested in what you're interested in, it just literally is a numbers game. So if you have a product or a service that solves problems, which is your main focus, we need to be solving problems. We're not focused on going to be famous. We're not focused on just trying to get viral hits on videos. That's very risky because every video you make will not go viral. So it's a very risky strategy. But if we get a few hundred views of the right people watching our video and seeing our message, it's a numbers game. Say if 100 people watch your video, 100 people join your email list, maybe 10 of those people will buy your product or service. Maybe if you then help 1,000 people with some free information, maybe 100 of those people will become paying customers. So it literally becomes a numbers game. And the more content you put out, the more people that you are reaching, the more of the right people, your chances for success infinitely increase. And step 3, you want to be consistent with this. Post 100 pieces of content on social media. It doesn't have to be every day, but just pick a schedule that works for you. I would recommend every day because you need to be showing up every day for this to be a real thing. So if it's a YouTube video, make a YouTube video every day. It's not hard to do, making videos like this. But if you are genuinely just sharing your journey, sharing what you're learning, showing that you're an expert in what you're teaching and passing down your learnings to other people behind you, there's literally no way you can fail with this. You just have to keep being consistent. And by the 100th piece of content, if you look back at the first piece of content you made, you'll see a huge difference in how confident you are on camera and on social media, how you present yourself, the actual quality of your content and like what you're coming across to as your audience. And you will start to see results. Consistency is the thing that will get results with this. And the most important point of this video is it is so important that you watch this video, and I hope this is a catalyst for most people to start now. I don't want you watching this video and then clicking on another video that's around here and not starting this, because you could waste months, if not years more of your life watching mindless content or not actually taking action and making this thing happen. The longer that goes on, the more and more you get stuck in this rut of being in the machine, doing things you don't like, for decades, literally decades, and then you'll only realize decades later, like, shit, I should have actually done something when I watched that video Alex made, because he was actually talking some sense. Your dreams are closer than you think. I am not sharing this in a way that I have any great amounts of success or I'm not a millionaire or anything like that. I'm sharing what I'm working towards and passing the baton down of information of what's worked for me so you guys can follow in my footsteps. I realize that I don't want to settle for average. I don't want to settle for less. I want to live my life to the fullest and do whatever the fuck I want every single day. I don't want someone to tell me what I can and can't do. If that is of interest to you, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can join for more information, just for some free tips and stuff. And YouTube will recommend some videos right here. It is a pretty clever piece of kit. You should go and watch either of these videos next.